Hi guys, welcome to today's video today at the Roadrunner. We've got a stacked pro class today, a bunch of heavy hitters, pretty cool to see. Shout out to Brody Johnson taking the win. He's going to be heading over to ISDE later in the year. Here we go. Not the best start, not really what I was wanting. These conditions, it had rained a little bit overnight and into the morning, and was getting it is pretty slippery. So not my best conditions, but I've been trying to work on some things this year and get better in these. I've just always kind of struggled, so I'm going to see how today goes and get into it a little bit. So it didn't take me very long, but we got into this section with the ruts and stuff, and you could see my front end just kind of crossing up a little bit, like me just losing my balance a little bit. And then we come into this new section, which is the pro-only section that Beering cut out from the morning race, and it was ultra slippery. Slight side hill, a lot of roots from the quads, and you just see I'm just kind of sliding a lot, can't really get a straight line, and I know it was slippery, but it's like you watch these other guys around me, and sometimes it looked like they were on like a totally different track than me, like they were just cutting a line. See, I'm just uneasy, can't pick a line, seem like I'm just kind of wishy-washy everywhere, can't keep my balance. So that was kind of the major theme here early on. We're not even 2 minutes into the race, and I'm struggling in these conditions already. This is probably the worst I've ridden in the slippery stuff this year. So it was pretty, tough to watch these guys ride away that quickly, and feel like I was the only one that was really struggling that bad. Here's a little bit of that. Looked like they were riding a different track than me type of thing. I just was like, had no confidence in what my bike was going to do or where my bike was going to go. And for some reason with me, it doesn't take a lot. I've learned that for sure. Yeah, just I needed, more confidence, I think, in these sections, which the tough part about it is, like, the race that I got hurt at last year, it was slippery, and I said, I'm just going to go out there and attack it, and I fell 3 times in the first couple miles. So I don't know, it's one of those things I gotta figure out, and it's frustrating for sure. But I don't know, like, as the race kind of went on, the track got a little better in spots, but it really didn't get much faster, judging by lap times. And spoiler alert, I start trying to figure things out. Here goes Colby Goodman passing me from the A class already, but I wanted to keep this part in because watch right here. He lost his radiator hose pretty early on, and I didn't have it in the video, but a couple miles up, he's sitting to the side. Cutting to the hill climb the first lap. That was pretty steep, and it was like the mud made it tricky. If it was dry, it would have been pretty easy, but I took the steepest part of it, and then second lap, more struggles. Kind of just came in there and lost the front just a little bit and kind of lost my balance. Kind of a similar thing that had been happening the first lap. First lap I kind of pulled it together though. Second lap was the worst, but here's the hill climb again. That ended up being the better line because you could kind of carry your speed and it was good. But yeah, second lap was atrocious. It was really bad. But then this is lap 3 here, and I get in behind a guy named, I believe, Casio Santos, I believe is how you say it. And he kind of, saved my race a little bit. I'm one of those that if I can follow somebody, it kind of helps me out, and I can start picking up on some things. And I'd been trying to do that with some of the guys that had passed me earlier, but it just was not clicking. For whatever reason, I was able to kind of lock in behind him and gain some more confidence in my riding. And as the lap goes on, I get better and better, and my lap times, even after the camera died, got better and better. And I started slowly figuring things out. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, the track was slippery pretty much the whole way through. It got more traction in some areas, but I mean, if you look at most people's lap times, the track slowed down. So I found that quite impressive for how slippery I thought it was early. But I ended up finding 3 minutes almost of pace on my last lap compared to my second lap. So that just shows you how much better I was riding late in the race. And I really think a lot of it was due to this lap here, just being able to follow and try to pick up on some things and try to just work on my riding. And everything just started clicking. My balance got better and things got better. It wasn't the fastest pace by no means, but things just started working for me, and it allowed me to start building confidence in my bike and the track as it went. Alright, coming up here is a bit of an embarrassing moment. It is not a graphic moment. Let's just watch for a second.
I gotta pee.
There goes Brody, by the way, leading the race. But yeah, this is the first. At least I had my hydration, on point today. But yeah, that was kind of funny. You notice this guy came over here. I'm not sure his name, but I leaned my bike up against the tree. You couldn't hear it in the background, but my dad went to go fill the bike up, leaning against the tree, and the bike fell because it was leaning against the tree. And then he spilled a bunch of gas. The gas can was laying in the middle of the track. At least there wasn't really anybody coming through at the time. But yeah, had to stop and pee. I had to just a little bit before the start, and it was a little too late. But I thought it would go away because it was pretty humid and sweat a lot. But yeah, it never went away, so I had to stop and pee. Skipping ahead to the start of that next lap, I got back around Santos there. He actually pitted too, so we came out similar, but you could just check out how much better I'm kind of riding this section, in my opinion. Hitting the lines. My goal was just to kind of get through here, but it was still a tricky section, but I just felt like I was executing better than I was early, attacking it a little bit more, and then the last lap I really felt like I was attacking it. So just a little bit of an improvement through here, at least. Leader alert. Here come the second and third place. John Johnson, Caleb Russell. Just keep an eye up there on Caleb, like I was talking about, like flailing off the bike. He, almost comes off the bike and crazy dabs, through this section. This was probably the toughest just to ride through, and then here comes Gavin Simon. They were just carrying such good speed through here, but just wait just a second. We'll actually see a pro again, one of those same pros. Take a guess who you might see again. That's Jonathan Johnson.
Come on, John, you got him!
Facing the wrong way, had a fall. It was a pretty crazy moment.